Good evening guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have got a lot of questions about making background pages and how I actually use them. So I thought let's do another one, and then we can do a little demonstration of how I do when I use them over and over again, as I wrote in one of my comments, and someone said, what do you mean by using them over and over again? So let's do it one more time, and I will show you how I do them and how I use them. Digitals is wonderful, and I use a lot of printable digitals, but sometimes I like to do my own, mostly because it's creative and I like to do something unique. So I guess like me, a lot of you have napkins and more napkins, and then a little bit more napkins. So I thought today I'm going to use up some of my napkins. So I have cut out some pieces. I will start with that, and then we will fill up with some other things to make the background page nice and beautiful. So let's start with putting some digitals down. No, some napkins down. I'm talking so much about digital, so I don't know what I'm doing or saying. One thing to think about is, of course I didn't take any one with the colored background. But let's say this is a napkin, and you have several layers, and the top layer is gray in the background. And if you would like to use just these leaves and cut them out, you need to cut all the way into the leaf so you don't get any gray. Because if you put it down on a white paper, you will have this gray area around every leaf, and that's not so fun, I think, at least. So when you're going to use them like this, choose a napkin that is white in the background. So when you put them on a white paper, you won't see the excess of the flowers, and you can cut them a little bit around like this. You don't need to cut every little piece as you would need to do if you have a blue or a beige or gray background. So that's a tip to make it a bit easier. So then I have taken these roses and some other napkins with ferns on. Thought I could kind of put this together, and a little butterfly. So let's see how we want to put this down. I think that as we are going to use this as a page in a journal, we can put this in the middle. Then when we folding it and make pages, we have roses on both sides, and we still have some writing space or places to put pockets or something like that. So then I put this kind of in the middle, and then we can put a fern on one side and another fern on this side. That way we get the green also on both sides, and then we need to choose one side for the butterfly. So let's take some decoupage glue. You can use whatever glue you have that is transparent and matte, so you don't get any light patterns. So let's put it down there. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue to keep the napkin in place while I put on the glue. And then I'm working from the middle and out and using a lot of glue. That way it will get stuck beautifully and you won't get any creases or air bubbles. So I'm going to go and dry this so it won't move, because we are going to put a little bit of gesso on top of this, so we can use some watercolor later on. So back in a second. So it's dried, and as you can see it buckled, but don't mind that, we are going to get that straight. And as this is a background page, you won't use this page, you will scan or copy this, so even if it would buckle or get a bit thick or kind of difficult to have in a journal, don't think about that, because you don't use this, you use the copy of it. So that's also kind of important. You can put laces on it, you can put embossed paper on it, you can put anything, as you don't going to use this one, you use the copy. So I decided I wanted a piece of writing also on this piece, so I'm going to glue that down, and I think I will put it on this side. Maybe give it a little bit of ink. Taking off that piece with a little reddish brown color. And that's what's fun about doing this, that you don't need to think about that it will get thick or buckle up or something like that. You just do this for copying. So I think I will put this like that. And then I'm just going to fold this piece in like this, or cut it off, you can do whatever. It wasn't so much glue on it, so I think I will cut it off instead. So now I'm taking my white gesso. You can also use transparent gesso, but as this is a background page, I want to tone this down a bit. It's this is just a background, and you're going to put photos or text or pockets on top of it, so I don't want it to be too strong. I'm taking some water, and then I'm going to water the gesso down. You don't need much at all to get it waterproof. So then I'm just going to put this on top of the paper. And I'm going to paint all the way to the edge, so I'm going to put the gesso all the way to the edge. So let's do like this so we can get the color everywhere. If you think it's too white, you can just water it down a little bit more, but it always dries more transparent than it looks on the paper. So don't get scared when you see that it gets very white. So I'm going to dry this again, and then we can continue to put on some more color and pep. So the gesso is dried, and now you can see it's toned down, so it's not, the colors is a bit more soft. So now we are going to use our watercolors, and I'm going to try to get this color and try to blend that so something like that. And then I'm just going to wet the paper here and there, and I'm going to just put down the green color so we get a watercolor background on this. Taking a bit more of the blue and a bit of the green. Like that. Holding it down for a few seconds. Oh, I forgot this part. Okay, I'm going to go and dry this, and back in a second. The watercolor is dried, and you can see this kind of natural background color. It's a bit more fun than the white. So the next thing I'm going to do is to use embossing, and I'm going to do with a stencil, and I'm going to do that kind of right in the middle of everything, and make a nice pattern. I have embossing ink, and I have an embossing pen. So I'm going to fill all of these up with my embossing pen. This is like a glue, and then you put powder on it and heat it up. So I want to spare you all the time that it takes to fill in this with the pen. So I'm putting a couple of clips on. Like this. And then I'm going to fill all these this pattern in the stencil with this glue, and then I will be back to show you the next step. So then I'm taking my white embossing powder. Take one that is opened. Get it a little bit easier. And I'm putting this where I have put the glue, and now I hope this will stick on random places where I have, not everywhere, like this. So I will just put this down like that. And then I'm going to put this back in the jar. So I'm just doing like this first. And then I'm going to take my paper and put it back like this. I'm going to brush off the excess, and then I'm going to heat this up so we get a little bit of a pattern of the embossing powder. So it has cooled down, and we have this nice cool effect of the embossing powder. So kind of peeking through, and you can still see the background nicely. So now you can just play with this however you want. Just take different things and put on top of your scanner, and then put your paper like this and scan it. I will show you a picture. So I did this one. So I just took this old book page. I took my photo, so this will be first, and then this as a background for it. And then I used this lace, and then I put the glasses down here, and then I put the lace on top of that. And then I took my page like this, and that way you get a totally different picture. And you can almost touch the old glasses. And you can, of course, play with this how much you want. You can do how many different things as possible. I did another one where I used a dried flower on a lace and a picture of a mother and a daughter and another old antique lace. And we got this one. You have the lace, you have the picture, you have the dried flower, and you still have this nice background. And if you don't want to have so much writing space, you can do some doodling, put some labels, fill it up with more old stuff. So your possibilities to play is so much fun. You can use this over and over again and just use different things to put on the scanner when you put the paper on top of it later on. So I hope this helped with the questions about how I use it as a background. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I will answer it as good as I can. So go play with your backgrounds and make fun papers to use in your journals. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon again. Until next time, bye bye from Sweden.